your girl, Elizabeth Adela Shubi. How do you like that? You like it? Nice. Well, we're here to talk this morning. Serious talk. Very serious talk. Oh, yes, you can. I think it's about 1 a.m. in the morning. If I told you that I didn't step out of this house today, would you believe me? No? See, there are ways that we can cope with what life brings and sometimes how we feel as an adult. Everything doesn't have to involve other people. I've been in this house all day. But if you were just scrolling on my page, you will say, look at her, she's a baddie. I bet she's been to the clubs and she's been jumping around. Oh, she has it all good. No, I don't. We're all dealing with something, one thing or the other. I just wanted to catch you here because it's a new week. And I want to encourage you that, oh yes, you too can. See, everything in life is perception. Perception. I am still amazed when I see the regular girls in Nigeria buy wigs for 1.5, 1.2, 2 million. And they think they're baddest. No, you're not. You're wasteful. You're unrealistic. If your socioeconomic status is not conducive, that hair that you're trying to wear to belong to the baddies whose fathers have money. I love something about Alvin. There's a guy online called Ivan, I think he's a Beanie Boy. And he was saying something about somebody comparing him to a guy, an influencer, that even before he was 3, he had a dual citizenship. To him, that his father did not accept. See, in life, it doesn't matter what our looks make us belong to, where he gives us access to. We know where we're from. 2 people cannot lie. At least one person cannot lie in 2 different spheres. If the people that you're trying to front to, that you're rich and cute and good, don't know you, you know yourself. And that is the truthful part of ourselves that we always need to never let go. It keeps us humble. It keeps us realistic. It keeps us bargaining as winners, not necessarily from a disadvantage point, because that was the story of our parents, right? We had no choice where we were born. But even in our trying to fake it until we make it, we have to have our feet on the ground. The other time I came in on here and I was saying things about Blessing CEO. She's not the first woman to want so many great things in life that she can get. I think there's a part of us as women that have these fantasy lives. It doesn't matter how much you love your husbands or we love our children or can't change their circumstances. We just love to dream. And everybody needs to go back to dreaming. And lesser to trying to grab what does not belong to you. And losing face and disgracing yourself all over the place. Accumulating things that you cannot sustain. So those that are buying human hair for 1.5, you're not a baddie. You're realistic. You that are buying human hair and wigs and stuff and still doing the expensive things, but you have no real assets to show for it. You are not a baddie. And if you are onto yourselves, because it is not the worth of what you're buying. You're buying it at that price because the naira has become toilet paper. Know the difference? If you took 360,000 right now to Cotonou, it will be worth only 100,000 in Cotonou. So the higher the prices go, and outside of your physiological needs, the regular basic food, shelter, housing that you need to do, every other thing at this point in Nigeria is luxury. Hello? Is somebody listening to me? Am I communicating? I want to be your reality. I want to tell you why you're doing so much and yet at the end of the day you have very little to show for it. I don't want you to knock yourselves and think that you're not doing enough. Oh God, my life is bad, and you want to go into prostitution or go into defrauding or go into lying. No, you need to walk with your feet on the ground. And I can never get over the way Nigerians are. You try to tell us how to do things right. People looking at you, like Isaac Fayoshe said, a madman walking on the street doesn't know that he has lost his mind. He actually thinks that that pot he is eating from is an ensuite in the biggest, best hotel. When people are talking, you have to hear where we're coming from. When there's danger ahead and somebody is saying stop, 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 but you don't want to because of your favorite. Your favorite will not live in your life. Every single thing that we do in life, if it doesn't affect us directly, will end up affecting somebody. There is no word that we speak that is lost. There's no action that we take that is lost. And I'll tell you a quick, short story. If I asked you who Tupac was, you would say, oh, he was a gangster, he was a rapper, he was a... But do you know that even in that state, and you don't know his background, very responsible mother. His parents will challenge him to read the newspaper and they will quiz him on it. How many of you, as parents, do that now? Read the same books that your children read and discuss with them about what it shows them in life or how it makes them feel. Do you even believe that your children need to have opinions? You just believe that they need to have requests. Daddy, I want game. Daddy, I want ice cream. Daddy, I want... You have turned them to consumers, not to innovators. That's why everybody gets upset when you see the rich politicians that are stealing your money, doing that with their children. But you use the excuse of there's no food, there's no water, there's... And, you know, it's valid. But when things get tougher, we get more extensive. When life draws us in, we rise up to the occasion, not necessarily in effort, but in extension. So the excuse that gas, gasoline is expensive and food, staple food is rare or scarce is no excuse to ignoring the primary responsibilities that God has given you or that you with your private parts created. I was telling my friend and she said, oh, I don't listen. I don't even watch social media anymore. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to. And I said, I respect that. See, I've always been one that never tells my friends what to do. But because I love them and I think that I have the knowledge or the wisdom that I can see sometimes in their lives that they're lacking, I have the patience and the humility. We never argue. God always gives me the gift of words to bring them back, bring them around, to let them see. Because whatever it is I'm trying to offer them, it's not to show them how stupid they are. It's not to show them how wiser I am. No. It is for them to remain safe and prosperous and retain their freedoms. That's why we have patience. Because it doesn't matter what we know or what we have to offer if we don't learn the humility with which we deliver. Because they are not our politicians. The government and political officers are the people that we can talk to out of frustration and anger. But when it comes to the people that matter to you, that you love one-on-one in your life, or the social media public that you think God has given you an inkling of your body, your spirit tells you that they deserve better, you talk to them from a different place. Even as a nurse, with all the knowledge that I know, at least it doesn't matter how dumb you may think that I am. I've been a nurse since 2002 to now 2026. If I didn't know anything, at least I know do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or at least for the babies, ta, 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 tu, tu, tu. So I must know something in my field, but as much as I may think that I know, the law says I am not allowed to advise my patients. My job is to give them the options, and they will have to make that best decision for themselves, and I have to respect it. So when I come here to talk, I come here to talk not because I don't have better things to do, like you have better things to do too, and I respect it, because especially from Nigeria, data is expensive. That's why I try to talk fast and try to keep things short. It's like me, I turn on my TV and there are 250 channels. If I keep going to the same channel, that means that I must have come across something good and tangible on it. So Tupac Shakur was an artist here. And one day, he sat in Australia. He was in New York trying to produce one of his albums. And he heard the news, asked me what the story was. This 12-year-old was raped by her cousin, and she had been pregnant silently. Nobody knew. 12 years old. And she had gone to the bathroom that day to pee, And here comes out the baby. And she managed herself, went to the kitchen and got a Ziploc bag. And she put the baby in the Ziploc and put it down the chute, the trash chute. But that was the day the city was coming to pick the trash, right? But a neighbor heard the baby cry before the compact could close. And took the baby, went to the hospital and everything. The baby got adopted. Now, Tupac Shakur read that in the newspaper. I think it's Brenda crying or something like that. Brenda cries, something, some music like that. And he wrote that music. And years later, one of his crew, his music director or something, just decided, she's trying to write a book on Tupac Shakur. And this gentleman just came up with the idea of that, Tupac had told him that that baby found crying was actually not just an inspiration, but was taken from the newspaper, pages. Wouldn't it be fascinating if they could actually find out if that baby was real and if the baby was alive? That was how they contacted an historian, a genealogist. So now she looks and finds this baby, Devon Horn or something is the name of the boy. He is now a grown man. Was able to track him down. In the process, they were also able to track the mother, the actual mother that was 12 years old and now. She was crying and boiling, and they were able to bring them together. That's a musician. If I asked you about Tupac 2 minutes ago, you would tell me it was nobody, it was another. But even the madman on the street is a lesson for us all. The problem with us is we have decided to determine where the lessons that we're able to learn from come from. The inherent biases and intrinsic biases within us is limiting us with seeing the perception of others. Because even if it is good for me, it is my place to understand why it is not good for the other person. So that when I'm around them, even if I don't give in all the way to them, I won't have to be totally irritant. Because we take things differently. So this new week, as you go out, I want you to see why you are under so much pressure. If it is really that things are so bad in your life, or if it is you trying to meet up with the way you want people to see you. See, when I was in nursing school, I was struggling so hard and everything, and I've had this hairstyle now, I think, going on 8 years. And I like it. I just got tired of having to change my hairstyle today and buy another wig tomorrow, and I couldn't afford it. So I had two choices. I had to look for a style that was more permanent to me or scrape my hair. I was going to do that because I wasn't going to run myself into the ground or go sleep in beds that I didn't need to. Why I don't date? I don't date because God has been good to me. He's provided for me. My body doesn't feel like it. I'm not married. I don't think I see myself getting married. But I believe so much that God is my ultimate source that He understands. Gee, it gets me. It's who I can talk to. So if I meet you as a man and you are only able to meet 10% of my needs, I still have to run back to Him for the other 90%. But that's me. That's me. Nobody out there is created to be a firewood to my problems or to meet all my needs. And even though God promises that He's the God that's able to meet our needs, He's going to do it in compartments. He will do it through Shade, through John, through Tayo, through Layo, through Bimbo. He's not going to do it through one person. That is why a lot of you are restless with the people that you call partners, husbands, and friends. You think they are meant to meet your needs. But even though God has promised that He will meet us at the point of our needs, He didn't say He was going to load the burden onto just one person. But you know, you don't have dreams, you don't have vision, and you don't have mercy. You don't have kindness and consideration for the next person. So you think that your rich friend is supposed to be carrying your problems because you have become lazy in spirit to fight for yourself and have dreams and reach out like they did too. So when you get the money, you just spend it because there's something else coming from somewhere else. You don't know, but you know it's going to come. You're playing a very dangerous game. because you will find yourself lying in beds that you ought not to. Some of you have gone through a lot of suffering, been on the street, selling drugs, been to prison, not because you could not have avoided it, but because you haven't sat down to ask yourself and say, Elizabeth, why don't shade it for you? This stress is too much for you. Why are you really stressing? Do you have enough money to pay your rent? Do you have enough money to eat? Do you have enough money to keep your dignity intact? And then the rest is just is for me to sit in my comfort zone and come up with innovations and visions rather than targeting people that are rich in society that I can go this house, carry back for, or go make a nuisance of myself with. Because even those people that you're looking at want to see come with evidence. You come correct. You have to come correct. The world is like a vice right now. It's constricting everybody, even if we show it in different ways. So this week as you step out, may God guide your steps. May wisdom begin to arise and double in your mind. May everything that you know begin to reshuffle in your heart so that you can learn and unlearn, retrieve, and throw away. You need to do those rearrangements in your life. Nobody can do it for you. Just because my friends do that, and that's how you know good friends. That's how you know true friends. If you think, I have to do my nails. There was a time I was like that. I still do my nails, don't get me wrong. There's none of these things that I'm saying right now that I'm condemning. I'm just saying timing is everything. Timing. Truth, as powerful as it is, needs timing so you don't get killed. Doesn't make you a coward. You honor and cherish the life that God has given you. Timing is everything. There are a lot of my friends. The other day you saw me take a picture with Nick Cotton. She had a party here. I couldn't go. I couldn't go because I didn't see any common sense in going without with being the odd one out that will not buy the outfit. All my friends were buying it, the ones that are richer and poorer. But I said, even the party that my sister is going to do, she's giving me the Ashwebi. I don't want to use my money for that purpose. It's a spiritual thing between me and God. Because I want that to be part of the sacrifices that He sees me make as somebody that is asking Him for more. I don't want to buy something that I condemn or throw away. I don't have money for disposables right now. That's my principle. It doesn't have to be yours. But instead, I enveloped a little change, more than she would expect, and I sent to her. That was behind closed doors. I didn't announce myself. Yet those who went to the party would say, Kenny, she didn't come. Why is she still friends with her? We saw them together at the restaurant the other day. Because I know how to service my friendships. I know how to come out to my friends and humbly, with all respect. Because I don't have friends that I don't respect. Every single one that is my friend I respect. That is why they don't dishonor or disrespect me in return. We joke the rawest form. We tell each other the deepest things about our past. But there's been no disrespect because it is mutual. You understand what I'm saying? So you too can know why you are under pressure. Why do you have to take that cab today? That gas is expensive. Why are you going out? What are you using your data for? Do you have to scroll every page? Your income must always be more than your output. What is the balance scale right now? Let me be your reality check. I'm begging you. Only one life do we live. And death, they say, oh no, just see me. The day we die is the day we rest. No, honey. That's the day our bodies rest. But that is the day our actions and our words begin to live beyond the grave. So the things that we do will still live to affect other people. We need to watch the words we play with, that we say to other people, because some of those words are still making people bleed, and for generations they will. I know that sometimes when I sit down like this, the words of my father will just come to me. He's been dead for 3 years, and I will have tears, or I will have smiles. I want to feel a little, and then understanding will cover. Words have life. Words are powerful. Don't be too much of a joker. If you're a comedian, keep it to your platform when it brings you in money. Not necessarily when it distresses or disturbs other people or intrudes into the spaces of your friends. That is not being funny. That has been childish. And you lose your dignity and respect. I tell people, my friend and I were talking, and I said, you have to take yourself seriously, because the people that are going to be blessings to us are already surrounding us. Our in-laws, the neighbors, and the perception matters. Why must it be that every time they have a deal, every time they have a contract, every time they have something to do, they have to take it outside of yourself? Have you ever asked why opportunities are not coming to you? Do you know that sometimes people don't even know how to bake or how to write a book or something, and somebody that sees that personality that could fit that glory, that position, that amazing promotion will go to them and say, you know what? I think you can do better in this role. Do you know how to bake? You say, no, okay. Why don't you go to catering school for 6 months and I'll sponsor, I'll open up a shop. I think when I come here and I cook, your food reminds me of my mother's cooking. Do you still believe in such goodness? Do you still believe somebody can look at me tomorrow and say, you know what? You have this old look. I like that hot look, that Diana Ross, that old 60s, 70s, 80s look. I like it. It's very rare. Come model for me. You still don't believe in miracles? So when people put up the best of themselves and come here to talk sensibly and not opening their private parts or trying to think that they're going to gather traffic, and it's just 10 views they have, do you know that that is an investment in the future? Do you know that everything I've ever written, I've ever spoken about, every word I've ever said, tomorrow will be put together as a package by my grandson, and it will hit, and it will be the one reaping from the fruit of the labor that my own generation didn't appreciate. Do you understand me? Don't leave God out of the equation, please. Don't just be comfortable with solving your immediate needs. Always think of tomorrow. Always think of what could be and how big the world is. Right now I'm looking, I see one comment. I can bet that it's not one person watching me. And if it is, it's not one person that's going to come across this. Don't let your brain lie to you. Don't. This, when you look at it, it doesn't look so pretty. When you look at it, it looks different. Miracle doesn't necessarily mean throwing things away and replacing. Sometimes the miracle in life is seeing, accepting, and changing our perception. And nobody can do that for us. Nobody. So no matter how rich or poor, we still hold each other those quiet moments when we search our hearts and try to find out where our spirit is and how we have become and are becoming. If a couple, husband and wife, were doing drugs together, one day the husband or the wife is going to change their mind about wanting to do drugs. And if true love really existed, it will take a fight, it will take a struggle, but the other person that's stuck on drugs too can go to wellness and they can still retain the family. But mostly, we don't have the patience to pull each other out of the gardens. That one, they were doing drugs together, one day will wake up like an eagle and soar and leave the person they were doing the deed together with in the gutters. And no, nobody is wrong. It's just what your capacity is. See, the problem is you are always trying to see who is wrong or who is right. Sometimes life doesn't need those thin lines drawn. It is just what it is. So I'm asking you, why are you pressured? Why? What are you hustling for? Have you reached the stage where you've already had the foundation, but you keep throwing it away and it never gets a hole for you to depart from that prostitution, from drugs, from armed robbery, from the things that you're doing in life that could get you killed? because nobody can keep winning in a losing battle. And if you're doing well, I'm happy for you. I celebrate you. Still, let the senses around you arise and be wise, and don't be altogether naive, because the world will kill you for 10 cents. So we're in a world where those who don't have are in as much danger, and those who have are still as endangered. And I'm not talking ritual. I'm just talking desperation. I was scrolling and I saw the story of this grown man of about 40-something raped his son's friend, a female, 11 years old, and killed her so she wouldn't talk while the son was watching. Yes, there is nothing impossible in this world. Only in the good things do we find that it drags and is sluggish, but in evil, it is fast as thunder. And don't leave your life for them to take. Don't let them snuff it away. Do due diligence. Find out. You can't give me appointment where I don't know you. No, you can't come into my inbox. I want to chat. I block you because I'm not here to prostitute myself or look for opportunities that are not real. I said it the other time. I'll say it again. At this stage in my life, at 58, I'll be 59. I'm almost 60, I think. And that is no joke. That is not a child's play. You show them. So those who are planning to offer me can't offer me meat in the toilet bowl, because it may not become. And may not compare to your rich people or your wealthy ones or your favorite, but me authority. You understand? So nothing in life can exempt you from keeping your dignity, retaining your dignity, and knowing that those that you're doing all the evil you're doing with are humans too. God can touch any of their heart. God can touch your heart. And when we're not going together in the same direction, we become dangerous one unto the other. No matter the oath that we sow, we will never truly be comfortable, because the Bible says that even without saying anything, passing judgment, that those who do evil will begin to feel judged. You haven't said a word to them, and they heard you call them stupid. You didn't say any word. They heard you call them lazy. No, you haven't said anything. They heard you call them dumb. Because that is the judgment that they, in their own secret places, know and have given themselves, even if it is not in their consciousness. The subconscious already registered their lives as such worthless. Fraudsters, liars, disloyal. I'm always here to talk to you about you, because I want you to have a complete awareness about your life, about why you're doing what you're doing. It's just not that tomorrow is not promised. The next hour is not promised. Please. So for you, I dolled up today and I looked sweet. Even though I'm not going anywhere, I just decided to look kind of sexy, you know? But all this, I'm blessed that God has given it to me, and is giving me the funds to try to manage it the best way that I can. And beauty does open doors, but I assure you, all the doors that has ever opened in my life, I've had to use good character to keep them open, keep them going, keep my friends from 13, 14, 15, 16, still be the sweetheart of my high school mates. It takes a presence of mind. It doesn't just happen to you by accident. You work for it. You recognize the gift that God has given you that perhaps others don't have. And you try to play it down so that those people don't think that people will say, don't hide yourself. Come in your full form. You will first have to win heart. Look at Abike Jagaban with a sweet look. There's some beauties that when you see, they just hook you like that. And some beauty that it's only when you are in their presence for a minute that it begins to dawn on you. Girl, you're the battle. I have her nose. I love her lips. I love her son on it, but we thank God that it is not just beauty with our brains, but beauty with kindness of heart, with the fear of God, with consideration for others. There are a lot of things that we think about, we just don't know. Or some people will say we're not there to discuss. You can't discuss anything in life, anything and everything. If God has given you the gift of expression and eloquence. Oh, yes, you can. Look out. Elizabeth Ajala Shede. So as you go out this week, it's Monday. What time is it here? It's 2:50 a.m. here. I think it should be about 8, 9 o'clock. Your day has just begun. Your week has just begun. You define your week. That customer that has not paid you on time, that's been owing you, you don't have to take a class over there. That money that you have been asking that they haven't paid you. Sometimes charm works. Don't just be all about violence. You do a little bit, you draw it back. You do a little bit. Ask God, which one are you going to use today? And let him give you the wisdom. Because let me tell you the truth. It's only in Nigeria that they use oppression and influence to lock you in jail if you hold money. In the rest of the world, they don't build prisons for regular citizens that hold themselves money. Not even if you hold the bank. They'll take your collateral after that. You reach an agreement to pay them in dime. That's why you too have to use some wisdom with the money that God has given you. Please. I was telling my son the other day, I said, oh girl, if I want to take pictures, I have to do my head like this so that the eyes can open. They will do shiny. Kodela, Atulo, just use this so that I can open up a little. I'm using my eyes now. That's the truth. There's nobody that's perfect. So please, cherish the life you live. Cherish the life. Cherish the life. Cherish the life. Please. We don't need anybody. Do you think I don't have a boyfriend? I didn't go out today. I didn't need anybody to tell me you're looking cute. I didn't need anybody to I didn't call a makeup artist. I just experiment. Multitasking, get into the shower, take a bath, and go to bed and follow up with my appointments in the morning. Okay? Please, take care of yourself. Not just physically, your mental health. Try to see where other people are coming from. Part of the struggles you have is that you're carrying too much weight, too much burden, too much irritation. You will collapse. So leave people with their trouble. Leave them with their troubles. If they don't accept what you're trying to teach, leave it. It's okay. Live your life to the best way that you can. Stop trying to save the whole world. Say your piece and go. Let God use it in his own way. Life is hard enough. It is. You will. Good morning and take good care of yourself.